Welcome to Inktober day 4. It is the 4th. Yes, it is. We're going to do something pretty cool today. It's ink wash, so it's not exactly drawing, and it's not exactly not drawing. I'm going to draw a dragon here. It started with sort of a curve. You can barely see it, but man, the camera's doing good today. I'm happy. So I want a dragon. I'm thinking the dragon's going to live. It's going to be a castle or something. The dragon's going to live on top of a castle. Just be hanging out, basically. Maybe his neck comes down. Maybe he's like... Is he angry? Maybe he's an angry dragon. Angry dragon. I don't want to detail everything. I sort of want to have fun with my drawing later, but I do want to get the basic form of this guy, this dude, this dragon guy, because I don't want to mess up. I don't want to. Here, let's. I like bringing things outside of the border here, so maybe we have some wings going out there, some wings going back here. Then basically he wraps around. This dragon wraps around a castle, something like this. Castle's just very rough. I'm sorry if you can't see it. By the way, if you are wanting to draw at all, please do. That's what this is here for. This is sort of like, hey, I don't have a drawing group. I don't want to go out. I don't want to show my work to people. Or maybe you do. It's just this is another time to do it. And hey, I want to draw. I want to draw with people, but I don't want to show people my work. And maybe that's the reason you're joining in here. Welcome in. Gee, I don't know if I like my dragon's neck. I think I want the back to be right about there. I just need to figure out the basic form. Maybe my dragon lives right in here. Just grabbing the castle. His other arm goes back. I feel like dragons' arms are going to be like mostly under their body. So maybe the arm goes back more than it does up. Maybe just trying to figure out the forms here, trying to figure it out. Because you'll be surprised once I get the ink wash on. It doesn't really matter what's going on. I'm just going to do this. Let's see here. A little concerned about how far up top this is, but whatever. We're gonna do it anyway. And this dragon's going to come off here, and then the leg's going to be coming up. Maybe he's just on top of this thing. He's grabbing on, clutching onto his castle. You know what? Maybe I can bring an arm down here. Maybe he's grabbing onto a different part of the castle. Rah. Rawr. I'm a dragon. Rawr. What are you drawing? Are you drawing a dragon too? I have to draw a dragon. I just like dragons. I do enjoy them. My dragon's going to be real mean looking. You can draw a happy dragon, though. I like happy dragons. So that this one happens to be mean, like my cat. Happens to be a jerk face like my cat. My cat's super cute, though. His name's Shinobi. He's a ninja. Tries to assassinate you. guess real ninjas don't really. They just are farmers defending their land. I like that. I like this dragon. Maybe he is a happy dragon. He's just like sneezing, like in Men in Black. You remember. Let's have the rocks right here. Let's have rocks right here. Maybe this is a castle on a bay somewhere. Castle is bay. Want some. Here, let's have some splashy sploosh. I have a lot of sea themes going on in my Inktober this year. There's a lot of sea being brought up. I'm just gonna have like I have a curvy road off my castle. Goes up. This is my castle. There are many like it. This one's mine. And the dragons, I share it. Yeah. I'm liking the forms, Wow. Do you like the whistling? Is it irritating you? I don't know. I'm just gonna go with that. Let's see. So where do I want my castle to be? I don't know. I don't know if I like this harm even. Let's see. Need to figure out the forms before I proceed. Very important with this ink wash. I'm just gonna do something like this. This is going to be my main spire. I feel like it's going to go up and the dragon's going to grab onto it. Dragon is grabbing onto this main spire. Sort of more like a cathedral than a castle, but you know, we'll get away with it. We'll get away with it. Has a tower. Dragon here. Dragon's going to be grabbing onto this tower back here. That's fine. I'll figure the rest out. I feel like I have the forms in. I do want to get, let's see, let's get this curve in here. Because what we're going to do is we're going to fill this whole area except for the dragon with ink wash. Because the dragon is going to be like this. Maybe it's angelic. Maybe it's like a feathered dragon. Maybe we should change the wings. I'm not really sure. Did I say it was a feathered dragon? No, I just said it was perching. It's a perching dragon. I don't know. We can do whatever we want, really. But for now, here we go. So what I got, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to bring it up real quick. It's going to be off camera the rest of the time, but this is what I got. I got 3 little things. I put 3 drops in this one of black ink. They're all filled with water, basically, to the same point. 3 drops black ink here. I think I put, oh, wait, no, 6 drops. Telling you wrong. 3, 6, 32, 3, 12, 32. I think that's right. 3, 12, 32. It was just like I got it to a point where it looked like a different tone. Took me forever to set up for the drawing. So I'm forgetting the amounts, and what I got here is a Series 7 Winsor Newton brush. You don't need a fancy brush like this, but it helps. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to use the darkest one, actually. Use the darkest one because that's going to be back here. It's possible I should have used a different, pardon my shadow. It's possible I should have used a different brush, but for now, I'm just going to try and take care and avoid areas. Try and get it close. I wasn't really sure what kind of ink to get. I had a lovely ink last year that I sort of misplaced. It was very smooth. It coated very smoothly. I don't know. I feel like it was just from some random like manga kit that I had from when I was a kid. And it's like one of those things, one of those gifts someone gets you and you never touch. You can see this is buckling a little bit. It should subside later. What I want to do, sort of, just avoid areas, make them look nice, make them look sharp, and I can use a different brush as well. I'm just going to go in here with a much larger brush to get the job done. It's sort of not wet enough. It's going scrapey. Super scrapey. Want to try and do this in like one pass, but obviously it's taking me longer. Trying to be fairly careful here. Now this could have worked out in the opposite way. Like maybe I should have left the sky white darkened in the dragon. That would have looked cool too. Maybe I'll do a second one. Not today, but later. You know, when the mood calls for it. This isn't exactly as smooth as I want it to be, but we'll deal with it today. Just going back with my nice brush. Busted out the crappy brush just for kicks and giggles. Right back to this. What I want to try and do is add in some clouds back here. Just keep it round, just keep it flowing, moving. So I need to try and cover up the teeth a little bit, or the marks that I'm making near the teeth. Don't want it to be too obvious. Should just be darker. I want to make the angle correct there. I can see the tones on this are kind of evening out, even though I thought they were really blotchy to begin with. And they look, I mean, as they dry, they're evening out. A little bit. It's not perfect, and I don't want it to be, but put that in there. Now the cool thing about this, it looks super blotchy now, but what I'm going to do with all this after I get all the washes in, I will go over the top with pen. And you can do it in either order, really. I'm just doing it in this order. Yeah, let's do this. Let's say the dragon overlaps. Let's not put a spire up its butt. Let's do that. And then and drag something out there and try to be super smooth. You know, when we say wash, I always think of watercolor. In watercolor, you have to be very gradual, very methodical with your washes. And I really should have done that on the other side. I was just thinking it was going to be a lot smoother than it was. It wasn't. So let's do it correctly on this side. Just going to go up the border first. You can either do this or you can actually mask it off, which is cleaner, and you can do these like these lines without a care. Let's see here. This isn't exactly a wash brush. You know what I could do is take a flat brush here, do the same thing. This is probably a much better tool. It's also going much darker. It's just willing to drop the ink onto the paper easier. Or the other brushes kind of want to soak things up. This seems like the one to use, huh? This is very smooth. Let's do that. That's fine. I sort of want to go up the other side. I'm going to grab the middle tone and just sort of re-wet the area. Try and get those, try and either get it smoother or just get those lines going. I'm not sure if I'm getting the lines going, but it's a little bit smoother. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side, right? That's fine. And then what I'm going to do is take the dark down here, and there's going to be some rocks. And let's see. I think I want the light coming from maybe the top. Top. I need to decide because I already put in some texture here. Let's have it coming from the top left, I think. Seems fine. Why not? I think it'll be cool no matter what, basically. I just need to figure that out before I proceed. Because if I put a shadow on one side of the rocks over here and then put it on the other side of the rocks over there, then nothing makes sense. And then we had this thing that I forgot about, the splash. Maybe we're not on water anymore. I don't know. I sort of neglected it. And, you know, got this door here. First going to put the texture on. I'll come back. Well, actually, I don't need any texture yet. I need just shades right now. Put this up here. Let's see, where's the arm? Where did I put the arm? Oh, it's down a little bit. Down a little bit. this down, drag this down. Basically, there's going to be shadow under his tail the whole way around, so I'm going to do that. And just be a little choppy with how I apply that shadow. It'll all come together in the end. Trust. Oh, crap, I forgot to turn that off. Pardon me. You get a lovely song. This is the intermission song. And the intermission's over. I think I want the road to be either like light, the lightest tone right here. Just have something like that. Just keep it horizontal and bring it down, bring it around town. Yeah, and then go back to the darkest tone. You know, really, I could have have an even darker tone than what I have. I have sort of just rocks set up down here. And, you know, again, with the lightest tone, I can take the dragon and get some tones in there as well. That's not coming off too light, is it? That's partially my fault there. Well, it's 100% my fault, actually. It's not pass blame here. I grabbed the wrong brush. What I should have been using is the nice brush. This thing right here. And we'll get... This is almost too dark, but I'll keep going. Let's do this right in here. Just basic tones here. The darkest tone, put that right under there. We basically got what appears to be a castle and a dragon. So now, just gonna put a little bit of detail on the front here. I'm not really sure what's going on. It's just I just wanted a little bit of structure, a little bit. Let's put something under his hand. Could be a lady dragon too. Keep on calling it a him. I guess I'm deciding it's a him. I'm drawing it. Drawing it, it's a dude. It's a dude dragon. And he wants Cheetos. He's coming for Cheetos. He's going to kill everyone until he gets it. Just wants junk food, you know? It's those cravings for junk food. That's what gets you. I sort of want to pop right now. That's junk food, but I also work out a lot. Maybe I deserve it. Did you ever think of that? I don't know. You know what I'm going to do after this? By the way, I just want to, before I tell you, here's what I did today. Woke up at 8 a.m. Worked 4 hours till noon. Then I was like, oh no, I'm supposed to be recording at noon. And I don't have the ink I want, so I had to run out to the store. I did all that. Now I'm going to be doing this for like an hour and a half. Then I'm going to go back to work. I'm going to draw a few more hours. And then guess what? Guess what I'm going to do for fun? Guess what? Just guess. That's right. I'm going to draw for fun. Going to a life drawing group. Missed out last week. Missed the group. Some stupid amount of work kept me from it. But my hope is I get done enough this week I can justify attending life drawing. Life drawing is very important if you want to be an artist professionally. Especially, I guess, professionally in the sense that you want to draw people all the time. If you don't want to draw people, if that's something that doesn't interest you, you want to do a bunch of scenery, go do plein air. It's all sorts of different types of practice for people out there. I'm going to have the dragon's wings be darker slightly. Most of it's like all kind of one tone right now, but it doesn't really matter that much for the purposes of what I'm going to be doing. The sort of style I'm going for doesn't care that much. How's the audio? Yeah, the audio is good. Sorry, I thought I saw like some red bars, some difficult to see audio or something. I don't know. Difficult to see. Audio would be difficult to see. Let's see. I'm gonna dip back into my super darks here. It's not that super dark, but it's dark enough. I feel like I can add just a little bit more definition over here in the rocks. Now that they're dry, I can sort of lay over the top with more pigment. And sort of just bring this up. Maybe there's some rocks on the path. Just edge it off. Just give it a little bit of an edge. Okay, pretty happy with that. Here's what I do. We're done with the wash. For the most part. I see some areas actually. Before we're done with the wash, I just want to... This is not filled in enough. Just going to hit that real quick. And now we can be done with the wash. All right. So what I'm going to do, I have with me, I'm going to cap, well, I don't have to cap them. I have, do I have? I had, aha, Micron, 005. That might be the only one I want, actually. Let's just go with that for now. I want this to be dry. Okay. So what do I need to do first? I want to just detail these dragon's wings before I forget about it. They're going to come out here. Just break the border there. And I'm just going to add some little bits of detail. I don't want to be... I want to be kind of delicate with how this treats line and shade. I don't want to just go crazy outlining everything. I might end up outlining everything. It's just, I want to think about it before I go ahead. Like here, I outlined, but I did a shading first that sort of indicates that it's underlit by the sea, probably. Just wanted something coming back up into it. really want to see this dragon's face. First, though, I want to get a sense of the spine. By the way, this is a 5x7, I believe. I just thought I'd throw that out there. Just so you know, just so you're aware. Just the size that I'm dealing with here. I probably want to have a shadow under the wings. Something like that. I don't know about over. Maybe I made a mistake just now. Not sure. We do have the light source coming from over there, so maybe that makes a little bit of sense. That's fine. Do it like that. And we can go over the top of all these lines with some ink wash too. And the wing here comes back. Let's give it the castle actually gets in the way here. I'm sort of going to be I'm going to handle the castle a little bit differently. Just a little bit. It's similar, it's just I want straighter, longer lines, I guess. I just want to get all these shadows basically for this dragon following the curve. I'm sort of using the wash that I put down to inform what I'm doing. I can bring some of them up to indicate scales. You don't have to do like, here's the shadow, but you don't have to stick with that the whole time. You can bring some up into scales. All sorts of fun stuff with that. I bring lots of stuff back because I am doing some horns in my dragon. My dragon also has horns on the front, and I kind of brought up, kind of squared off the profile. I like to do that with the dragons, kind of make the profile a little bit square on the top jaw, bottom jaw. Can go screw itself. No, bottom jaw is just left a little smaller. I don't know, I sort of, not that you see that on crocodiles necessarily, it's just their top jaw is the muscular portion, which is kind of weird. It's sort of like inverted from the way people are. Right. I'm just going to get a little bit of detail in here. A little bit of detail. Be really fun to do this sort of style with watercolor, I think. Rah. Rah, I'm a dragon, rah. That was my, it's Owen Wilson as a dragon. Rah, that's right, I'm dragon. It's not really accurate to how Owen Wilson is. I like Owen Wilson a lot, by the way. Not trying to make fun of him. He's a cool dude. Cool dude, bro. So you can see, like, I'm mostly concerned with the shading. However, every now and then I will add in a little bit of detail. A little bit of detail in here. I am going to outline the bottom of this, leaving that white portion. I think that's pretty important. Just makes it feel like it's getting reflected light onto it. I don't want to, so part of the thing I've seen a lot of people do with pens, I feel like it's just wrong. Because you can do anything you want in art, but you know, there's a different technique to making every media look good. So if you're using pen, let the pen line live. Like that's the special part about it. Let the line exist, you know? I've seen too many people trying to like fill in areas of black. Kills all of the cool nature. And look, we can do some fun stuff with some curvy line here. I'm sort of just, you know, following maybe the curve of the muscle or something. I broke the line there. I kind of like that. I'll leave it. Just sort of imagining what the muscle could be doing and following that curve. And then putting in, if it's shadow on the bottom, I'll put in a little line. If it's unclear where it is, I'll put in a little line. You don't want to overdo it, you know. Let's put in, I feel like there should be a spire here. I kind of cheated there. You can see I hid a line by doing cross hatching. Because I didn't like that the dragon's hands were off of the point where I wanted them to be. So I'm just putting another little tower there. That's sort of my fault. When I say sort of my fault, so it's like 100%. 100% completely my fault. Cannot get out of this one. So what do you do if you can't, you know, I said don't fill in black. Let the line live. But you want to get really dark. Well, just put your lines closer. Go in a different direction. I would suggest whatever you're drawing on, just imagine What does this look like as a 3D shape? I just want some cool flowy lines there. I tend to have some problems getting some tonal variation, so I'm focusing for Inktober on trying to improve that, the tonal variation, and just in general how I handle my line work. You know, it could be nice to get some tonal variation in here. Maybe I want a filled in line at the bottom, but maybe I want some other lines to come off of that, and maybe I want put in a different direction. I just do that. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Huh? Huh? Not terrible. Not terrible. I'm just going to put some shadow behind the scales a little bit. Again, don't want to overdo it. Really easy to overdo when you're working just jet black, you know? Like the only thing you have is the delicacy of your line. Really need to make sure that you're focused in, you're making good calls. I'm just going to take the jaw and just shade up from the bottom. I think you can tell where the teeth are, so I have no problem filling in that black and letting the silhouette of the black kind of live in that space. I like that a lot. I want to do something special with the wings as well. Don't like the angle that I have the elbow at, so I'm gonna just adjust that. This is mostly because I want to match the other arm. In length, basically. Right. Food, glorious food. Man, I'm hungry again. I just ate. You ever get that? Like eat the wrong thing, basically. It's like, well, you made a mistake. Now you need to eat again. It's a good thing I'm like somewhat addicted to working out, because man, I would not be in good shape otherwise. Ugh. Leaning over too much, leaning over the work too much. My neck hurts. I don't love how the wrist looks here, but I mean, you got to live with some things, you know? Just adding another finger behind here to make it look more correct. And, you know, I have this the other arm back in the distance. I'm just going to add some detail here. A little bit of detail. Fingers are sort of doing weird things. If you look at an iguana, how their fingers sort of not that a dragon would be like quite as frail as an iguana, but if you look at an iguana, their fingers, how they like rest on things, it sort of looks like they're broken. It's kind of crazy. So then we got the other appendage, the leg, I guess, whatever you want to call it. I'm going to start by like figuring out like, oh, okay, if it was bent like this, there'd be like folds in its skin and its scales. So I'm going to start with that and then sort of just add hatching and then go back into the scale, the detail. I'm going to do some cross hatching in this area. Again, I'm worried about that tonal variation. I want to come in here, just get really close marks. Basically looks like filled in black, but there's a little bit of movement within it. Sort of like when you look into a dark room, there's all that movement in your vision. Just looks like a bunch of purple and blue stuff swimming around, swirling. That's what I like to do with the darks of my paintings, my drawings. Just add that movement in the color. I'm hoping at some point, you know, I'm wondering, just to talk out loud, think out loud, if I should not record through video the rest of Inktober and instead do a series. Here's the problem. I don't have the free time. Ugh, so much stuff to do, you know? So much to do, so little time to do it in. I think I just have to record Inktober and then get to other stuff in November. So otherwise, I have to drop Inktober. I'm not going to do that. Not gonna do it. So you can see I just have like the folds in the skin back there. I'm gonna do hatching here, just really wide and broken. And then there's gonna be bricks. Bricks in there, man, bricks. I did a bad thing here, but I'm gonna salvage it the only way I know how, which is just go over the top of it with a bunch of lines. So what bad thing did I do? Well, I forgot about the wing being in front of the body. That's the bad thing I did. It's okay though. It's okay. We're going to do some really elaborate pen work. Cover that right the hell up. Maybe it's transparent. That's what I'm going to say. That's how I'm getting away with this, is it's a transparent wing. I'm getting away with murder. Okay. Let's leave it like that. But how cool is that? I mean, if I didn't ruin it, how cool is it? I just really like that look. Let's have this go all the way out here. And then one more. One more, just all the way up and all the way over and then back. Like that. That's what I forgot. See, that's why I did it first. And then ADD took over. All lines lead back to this spine. Hopefully I can make it look beautiful. Let's sort of get it in your view here. Oh, hell. Just has a really cool, surreal quality to it. I wonder if I should have curved it around. It's kind of late. Oh yeah, maybe it's not too late. I can still curve it around. And then we're talking about tonal variation here. So I go between some of the lines over here. No one will ever know the difference. Really hard to get between the lines. I'm like tempted to my mind wants to just follow directly on the line. So we're just doing weird things inside of those gaps there. That seems good to me. And then lastly, I guess I can do this here. Let's do this. kind of a weird dragon wing, but it sort of at the same time looks muscular. I don't know, like a weird muscle. But I'm fine with it. Looks neat. It's like a weird, funky way of rendering something. I'm just gonna pull that back into the tail. And there should be some shadow there and some shadow on the back. And sort of making up scales as I go. Making up the design of scales, I should say. So now comes the time of the show where I start to run out of things to say. Not really now, but just, you know, this whole time. But what I want to say is, hey, who's going to the Denver Grand Prix for Magic? Because this is an art and gaming channel. And this is sort of a game-related art thing, Inktober. So I don't want to keep this more uniform. I forgot what my strategy was for a moment, and then here we go. It's back. It's right back where it should have been. I'm just going to keep that line smooth. Now, when it's coming down to the dragon's tail, I'm just going to get this line in here. I want this line to be fairly smooth, and I want it to just kind of live out here. Oh, man. What's happening? Anyway, yeah, the Denver Grand Prix coming up. I don't know exactly when, but it will happen. I'm going to be there. Or at least I plan to be. A lot of places I planned to be this year and just couldn't do it. IlksCon, for instance, I will not be able to be there. Really sad about that. Man. Really disappointing news. So last, man, I'm just thinking about all this sad stuff. Last Inktober drawing session yesterday, I mentioned a client I was having trouble with, and how helpful ArtPact is in sort of like figuring out who those clients might be in the future. Who's going to give you trouble? Who do you want to probably avoid? Or maybe who do you want to be prepared for? Or, you know, a lot of that is not just let's avoid these people, but let's let them know what they're doing, because maybe they don't know. Maybe everyone's just sort of hunky-dory, or not hunky-dory, but keeping it from them, and they actually don't know that they're doing screwed up crap. Anyway, Pact, I guess, is like out of money. Apparently it takes like $250 to keep the site going monthly, which is crazy. I didn't even think about the cost of a site that actually like allows for people to, that moderates. I don't know, like it does a lot of things. It does a lot of unique things that you can't do through a Squarespace type site. So it got me thinking about that. Like, what's the special things about the site? Anyway, I guess what I'm saying is Pact is great if you're an artist. It behooves you to maybe support them. Now, the only word from Jim Pavlik was that it was going to be, he doesn't know when, but he would have to take it offline because there's just not enough money for it. But what I did, and what a lot of people did in response, was screw that. Pact is a thing. Pact is going to keep going. And yeah, we went to the Patreon. There is a Patreon. You can go there. If he hits the amount of money that he needs to break even, Pact will be a thing. It will keep going. And what that service does, I assume only artists are listening to this at this point. What that service does is basically allow artists who have worked for clients to report on their experiences, good or bad, with that client. And it behooves everyone. And I keep on using the behoove. It really does benefit everyone to be honest with their reviews. It doesn't make sense to, and they're reviews that are moderated. So if a company has a few, like has people that have worked for them in the past that moderate the site, they'll know when someone is BSing. Like if someone's like, I was paid $100 to work on a card for Wizards of the Coast, everyone knows you're full of crap. That just does not work. That doesn't. I mean, that's not a rate. That's not. That's so low. You'll be working for Fantasy Flight. No. It is a rate that you can get with Fantasy Flight. It's not the rate. And they're not bad people for offering that. It's just perhaps there is a better way. You know what I'm saying? You listening, people? There is a better way. So what I want to figure out now, because this dragon, he's got to have a back leg somewhere. Maybe his leg. It's coming down. It's coming off here. It's reaching down right around this area. It's just perching. Perching. That's what it's called. I think I'm going to leave it for this episode because I do have to get back to work. But it was fun drawing with you. Sorry to leave it here. I will have as the thumbnail for this eventually the finished image, and you can go on Instagram and I will post the finished image there. I'm at Raswit. Do you say at? Let me describe that. Just gonna put this door on and then I'm gonna hightail it out of here. So I gotta get ready to go to life drawing here in a bit. Maybe for life drawing I'll do another ink thing. Might be good. The door is just gonna have some door texture. You know, sort of texture doors have. And it's probably supposed to be a gate. It doesn't matter. One big bricks over here. Yeah. Just imagine bricks. Imagine big, giant bricks and an arch. That's what's happening. Okay. I'm going to get done with this, and I'm going to call it a day on this drawing. Another big brick at the bottom. Little brick, big brick. Perfect. Well, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun. But I got to get out of here. I got work to do. Hey, every Saturday, month of October, and on the 31st, at 2 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, I'm going to post all these finished drawings, everything I've done before that point in the month. And they're going to be for sale. So you can help support me and my art, and you can help just me survive. No, and you can get an original on your wall, on your desk, whatever. It'll be matted, sent to you. It'll be great, basically. So we'll see you next time. Thank you for watching. Rah! Rah! I don't know how to. It's coming in. It's flying in. All right. I'll see you next time. I'll hiccup on the way out. Goodbye.